All right, so welcome back to another episode. We are Destination Full-Time RV. This week we are down near Benezette. We are staying at East Branch Lake State Park.
No, it's not State Park.
Oh, East Branch Lake Campground, sorry. So this week we're actually gonna do 3 campground reviews, and we're going to check out the Kinzua Bridge, which is behind us, which we actually just got done doing, was awesome. And we're also gonna ride around Benezette and look for elk. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned. We got some awesome stuff coming up. Cue the music and we'll get to the content. I don't know why I did that. Cue the music though. Good morning and welcome to the earliest video that Destination Full-Time has done up to this point. So we rolled in last night. First impressions, not very good on this campground. The signage is horrible. We ended up passing the little thing that they call a campground and driving down to the lake and almost getting, we got in a sticky spot where we were lucky and made a really on-point turnaround, but if you got down there with, it could have been real bad to get turned around. The signage is really kind of bad. Camp host did greet us once we got into the campground, once we found it, and he was really nice and showed us our spot, but pretty tight getting in to the spot. Our neighbor came out, Missy was watching on the other side. Once we got in, really nice site, wooded site. But we got rained on last night, big time.
You just keep going on and on, let's just go.
We're going to look for elk, so that's why we're leaving so early. And also trying to beat the weather and maybe get to the Kinzua Bridge. So I'm getting rushed, but we have a lot to talk about already. But this video is gonna be a versus. So we're gonna do the East Branch Campground versus
Big Elk.
Elk.
Big Elk.
Big Lick Elk. I think it's Elk State Park.
No,
or
it's not
Elk
a state
Park.
park.
Elk Park.
No, it's not.
It's something elk. We're gonna do a versus because this is kind of too small to do a review on. So stay tuned. It's already been exciting. Yeah, let's get rolling. We just got up, we're in Benezette, we just got to the visitor center. It's actually a pretty nice spot. The fog's just starting to burn off. It's about 7:30. So this visitor center is about 50 miles, 50 minutes. 50 minutes?
Yeah.
50 minutes from that campground we're staying at. So we're gonna ease through here. There's some food plots, and we're gonna see if we can put our eyes on any elk. Pretty nice little area. See the food plot behind us. There's a visitor center. And then it looks like some big fields over there through that timber. So we're gonna walk through and see what we can see. Hopefully see some elk. So we're at the visitor center and we just walked back a nice stone trail. It's only a couple hundred yards, but it takes you out to this, hey, get behind the wall. Because the sign said stay behind the wall. It said stay off the wall too. Anyways, takes you out to this nice food plot that they've done. The fog's just breaking through, but we don't see anything. We talked to some of the people at the visitor center. They kind of said if they're not in the fields, then just kind of move on, cover some ground, give us some insight on where we could go up Winslow Road. So if you come out of the park and take a right, the sounds like might see some up that way. They've been seeing some bulls, so I'll probably just sit here for just a second, enjoy it, and then move on. But pretty nice setup, huh? So we're just leaving the Dense Run viewing area. We're just heading along Winslow Hill Road. So after you come out of the visitor center, if you take a right, we've actually hit two other viewing areas: Winslow Hill viewing area and this Dense Run viewing area. Seems to be the trend where you just pop in, walk out to the field. We've been taking turns walking out to the field, glassing real quick, and then moving on. It's getting to be a little later in the morning, but we're just trying to catch one still hanging in the field. This is actually a pretty good stretch of road, but it seems pretty touristy. There's actually like a bed and breakfast, there's an ice cream shop. So I think we're in the right area. Must be a lot of people hang out here. I think it would be quite busy in the fall.
Yeah.
We were talking about coming back in the fall, but not sure if that's going to work out or not. But I bet it would be really busy. So we're just going to keep driving down this road and hoping we can connect with one. I really want to see one.
It would be a pretty drive in the fall, though.
Oh, yeah.
The road is just surrounded by trees, so
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be gorgeous in the fall.
Yep. Yeah, I would like to come down here sometime in the fall again, though. But even ones that aren't labeled, like there was a viewing area right there, like you could just like pull into and look out over these fields. Some of them are food plots and some of them are just green fields, but pretty neat drive for sure. First time in this area, and it's kind of unique. Doesn't really look like PA much. So we'll just keep cruising along. Okay, so we're gonna do a walk around. We're back at our campsite. This is East Branch Lake Campground, and it is an Army Corps of Engineers. It's not a state.
It used to be a state park.
It used to be a state park. So we came in yesterday, drove all afternoon in the rain, well, 2.5 hours in the rain to get here. It's really back roads, like Route 6. You're never on a highway. It's a pretty drive. It'd be a nice drive in the fall. One thing we noticed, first impressions yesterday when we got to the park, the signage isn't the best. We weren't real sure where to get our paperwork, if we had to check into an office. We actually drove by the sign on the way in that says Campground. There was no arrow, so we just thought we were entering the campground when we should have turned left. So that could have been a little clearer for us. Once we went past that sign, we actually went down to the boat launch and almost got ourselves in another bind. It was a dead end with a really sharp turn. Luckily we had enough room to get the camper turned around. And we came back up and found out where the campground was. We got into the campground and were greeted by a camp host, which was nice. He told us where we needed to be. He kind of signed us in. The campsite was really tight to get into.
Small.
Yeah, you really had one shot. If you would have not hit it right, I think you could have got yourself in a bind with trees and stuff. But you can tell the campsite's cozy when you get in here. It's gravel, level, nice picnic table, nice fire ring, and it's spacious. You know, you got some privacy, but it was tight getting in here. I think we'll do a walkthrough and show you if you have a longer rig. We did notice on our drive out this morning that there was a couple spots that you would want to try and get.
Some pull-throughs.
So a couple pull-throughs and a couple that where the road turns would make it easier to back a larger rig in. So we'll go through and show you some of those sites and kind of give you an idea what this campground looks like. So stay tuned. coming down the back side of the campground. I don't know if we could even find a map. Maybe we can. We had trouble with this website for this East Bridge
went to see if the office was open.
Yeah. But anyways, coming down the back side, here we have, we'll get down there, but there's one of the pull-through sites. You can see there's Class A down there, and they have a trailer, so that's a pretty big pull-through site. And then there's another one over there, looks like you got a C in there. Another cabin. And then I don't know, I guess you have your choice on whether that's a pull-through site or whether you go down past and back in. I'm not sure if I would like getting our rig up that little ramp there, but a couple options. So it's not as bad as I thought yesterday, I guess, when we got here. We just ordered late because it was last minute, and I don't know, we didn't know what we were getting into.
No, we booked the site 2 weeks ago. Hagen got invited to a baseball tournament. Well, I'm to find out he was just a little bit too old for it. So we kept our reservation.
Yep.
And because we knew Benezette was out here and we knew the Kinzua Bridge was nearby, so we kept the reservation. But we check it out.
Yeah, it's now you get down here, there's plenty of sites. I think we just got one that was a little tight.
Little tight. Yeah.
There are better sites down through here, and I think if we had to stay here again, now we know where to get the water.
That's the thing, is you don't know.
That's right.
Like, the office was closed when we first arrived. We didn't have a map. We didn't know
Right.
how to check in. We didn't even know where the campground was. Like,
And
the signage was terrible.
And once we got into our site, it was literally like, oh God, we made it. We got into the site, and as I was on the hook, I was like,
We never filled
we never
up.
got water. So we had to go back to Walmart in St. Mary's last night and pick up gallons of water. But anyways, live and learn. That's why we do these reviews. Maybe it'll help somebody.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe no one will watch it. I don't know. Okay, Bella, you got me all tangled up. So we're gonna keep going, and we'll show you some clips on some of the sites on this. There is some primitive down below. Looks like they have the little boxes with the wood chips in them for your tent. So we'll show you that. Looks like they just came through and cleared some of the lower hanging branches in this kind of little tunnel area. So it makes it nice. Don't have to worry about your roof or anything.
Quiet here.
It is quiet here. Yep. Okay. So we were almost done with our campground review of East Branch Lake Campground, and it started raining again. It's like 18 times in the last 24 hours. So we're hiding underneath some trees, but behind us you'll see the primitive spots. If you want to bring a tent down. When we got down here, Missy pointed out, the good thing about a lot of the spots in this campground is it's away from this road, so you don't have to listen to the traffic of people going to the lake. You're away from that, so it is nice and quiet and not a lot of traffic. We plan on getting back up to the camper, loading the kids up. We'd like to go check out the Kinzua Bridge and the Kinzua Dam.
That's about half an hour from this campground.
Yes. Yep. And then this evening we'd like to wheel through and check out, we still don't know the name of it.
Big Lick Elk.
Big Lickin' Elk. I don't know. Well, we're going to check it out. We'll find out the real name. And that'll be our third campground review in this area. Benezette, Elk County, Elk Country. Okay, so like we said, we went out and we're hitting some of the local attractions around our campground. And you can see behind us, this is the infamous Kinzua Bridge. Sorry, I was thinking Kinzua Dam. So this was an old railroad train track that broke in half while they were actually working on rebuilding it. So they turned it into a place you can walk out to the end, and we're about ready to do that. You got the visitor center behind us, and then at the entrance you got a nice playground. So we're gonna go check us out and see what there is to it.
The bridge was built in 1882, and it's 301 feet high, and it spans over 2,000 feet long. In an inspection in 2002, they noticed rust, so they shut down. I think they were running like tourism train rides through it. In 2002, they noticed a bunch of rust, and then in 2003, a tornado hit it and knocked half of it out.
And we're getting ready to go walk across what's left. Here we go. right, everyone. So that was actually one of my bucket list items. Even though it's not too far from where we live, the history on this bridge and just actually being out there, it's hopefully the camera does it justice. It's like 300 and some feet down to the floor of the creek, and just to see the remains of the old bridge laying there is pretty crazy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And
it was good stuff.
There was a lot of people. It was actually so high that a lot of people were nervous to go out. The bridge swayed just a little bit, and there were some people that were nervous to go out. It's pretty neat. It's free. I would definitely hit this up. We're gonna go walk through the visitor center and check out what's in there. And yeah, we're underneath the bridge right now, but just to see something that was that old, like kind of just meet its end of day in recent history. So definitely something you gotta hit if you're in the area. All right, guys. So
you wanna look through the binoculars?
It's early on our last day here, so it's Sunday morning. We got up at 4:30, left a little bit after 5 to come back to Benezette and hit some of the places that we found yesterday a little bit earlier. So we came out to the first place we looked yesterday. We talked to some locals at the general store right in Benezette. If you go just past that general store and go to the right, there's a dead-end road. You cross a small bridge. It's not really, I don't think, a very common observation point, but we got lucky and caught a cow coming across the field. So it's all of our first elk experience, which is pretty neat. It's out here with a couple whitetails right now feeding. Yeah, pretty neat. So we might sit here for a minute longer. Got some good footage of them. See what it does when it gets to that whitetail. Can you get them both on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wild.
There's one right next to us.
Yeah. And then go look for some bulls maybe. We got the lowdown on a couple good observation points yesterday. So like we said, Winslow Road, I think it is going to be where the visitor center is. And you're going to have 3 or 4 observation points out there that they do food plots and keep the grass down low. So pretty neat.
That's cool. Oh, it's gone.
Found them, didn't we? Can you turn my 4-ways on, please? Isn't that huge, buddy? Hey! Yo! A lot. Look at those brown tines. Huge, huh?
That's cool.
That's awesome. Check bucket list. Oh, that was awesome. That thing is huge.
What do you think, Hagen? Big,
Just seen
huh?
him come up out of there, like, we're probably not in a good spot though.
No.
Okay, you guys all see him? Pretty neat, huh?
That is cool. He's just hanging out. Prancer.
Pluto. Oh, okay. Okay, let's get out of this spot.
Prancer. That
The
he's
best.
cool.
Bye, Pluto.
That is cool.
He's chasing the truck.
Man, I'm glad I seen that.
That's
Babe.
cool. Yeah.
Check. Kinzua Bridge, full out.
That was cool.
Wow, that thing was huge. I don't know, like,
That's
really
the field
scores of how to score elk, but like he seemed to have a lot of points.
compared to like
Yeah.
what you're used to seeing, like
Yeah.
whitetail.
Wow. I'm telling you, I drove by there and like just like he came out of that swamp for us to see him.
That was cool.
Yeah. So we're on 555, right up the road from the Miller Run wildlife viewing area. That's where we just saw them, and I'm pretty sure that's the big fields everyone's referring to. It's not something right off the road. Like, you have to really slow down and look through that, you know,
Small
kind
patch of woods.
Yeah, that swampy area. But that must be where they're talking about seeing the bulls.
Yeah, bulls are
So-
hanging out right there right now.
Yep. Middle of July. You know, obviously they're just doing their summer thing. If you want to see them, you're going to have to get up early and just bebop around and try to catch them in the field. But that was pretty neat.
That was neat.
All right, everyone. So we just pulled in to the Benezette Store Campground, and that is right in Benezette. I guess you check into this general store or the Benezette store, and they're the ones that operate the campground.
Yeah,
Okay, so if you...
that's where you check in,
Yep,
and that's where you call to make your reservation.
yep. So we'll put a picture of the signboard, and that'll have the phone number on it.
Yeah, because they don't have a website.
Yep, so that's right in Benezette. That's going to be really close to the elk. So if you don't want to have to wake up, like us at East Branch Lake, we had to wake up at like 4:30 this morning to get here. It's about a 50-minute drive. If you want to be close to the elk, it's really not a fancy campground. There's a big yard, 30 amp hookups, no water, but there's a place to fill up, and there is a dump station.
There's no playgrounds. It's basically a yard. Each spot has a like covered pavilion, which is kind of neat. So you don't have to put up your tent.
Yeah.
If you don't want
Don't worry
to.
about it blowing away. I've never seen a campground do that. I wish more would do that. They give you like your own little gazebo.
Yeah, but
So.
when your spot, it's like a huge yard, right? There's no pull-in area. It's like far as a platform or gravel.
Like you and I talked about there, really they put it there so you can bring your camper and go look at the elk.
Right.
It's not a place that's gonna expect you to be there
Right,
all the time.
you are there. It's convenient to park it, sleep there, and then you're right in Elk Country, so you're right next to
Yes.
all of the lookouts for the elk viewing.
Yep, the visitor center and everything. So this campground is next to the elk. The campground that we are staying at, which is East Branch Lake, is a little bit closer to the Kinzua Bridge.
Yeah.
So if you're still driving distance, probably going to be about an hour, a little over an hour to get to that Kinzua Bridge from here, but you're closer to the elk. So if you're going to do the Kinzua Bridge once and then check the elk out a couple times, it might make more sense to be on this end.
Yeah.
We're going to take a ride up the road now, and we're going to look at Elk Lick Campground. We've seen it online. I'm gonna try and check that out and see what they have to offer. So this will be 3 different campgrounds in this Benezette area. So you can look at the Kinzua Dam, the Kinzua Bridge, and the elk observation areas. So let's get up the road. I think it's only like a couple miles up the road. Continue out 555, and we'll see what that's got to offer. So stay tuned, and we'll be there in a second.
Okay, so we just stopped in at Big Elk Lick Campground and Equine Retreat. They have just a few spaces for for campers.
Yeah.
They have 20 amp hookup, no water,
No dump station.
no dump station, no septic hookup.
So I think that's why we like to do these reviews, is if people make a website with a campground, they can take the best pictures and make it look like it's really, you know, something. I'm not saying this place, they said they were booked in the fall, so they apparently do draw business, but just to let you guys know, if you go there, it's going to be pretty much almost boondocking. They have 20 amp hookups, no water, and no dump station. So really, probably what I would say is if you're going to come down here, you're going to either want to go to that East Branch Lake or the Benezette Store Campground.
The big Elk Lick Campground, a lot of people, there's horse trails around here, and a lot of people bring in their horse trailers and unload their horses and ride trails throughout the area. I think that's their main attraction there, but he does have a few spots for just campers. I think he is probably booked there because it's right in the heart of Benezette. You're right by all the lookout areas.
And the horse trails, like you said. Yeah,
but
for sure.
My feeling was it was like someone's side yard.
That's right. Yep.
But
so,
it's there. I mean, like you said, in this area, you aren't at your campsite a whole lot. You're out
looking for a place to
touring
park
and looking for elk. So
yeah, agreed. So hopefully you guys find this video helpful. A couple of tricks, and hopefully help you guys if you come to the area where to get on some elk, and a couple places to stay, how far you're going to be from each place. Like we said, the benefit of East Branch Lake is you're closer to the Kinzua. The benefit of the Benezette Store Campground, I always struggle with that one, is you don't have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to go and look for the elk. You can wake up, you know, just as it's getting daylight out, where we had to wake up quite early this morning.
But something also to know, it all depends on the time of year you go. So if you come in the fall when the foliage has changed, the elk are going to be running more throughout the day.
That's
Whereas
true.
Summertime, you're going to want to view them first thing in the morning or last light.
So East Lake Campground, East Branch Lake Campground, initially we didn't really like it because we just barely got into it, but once we did the walk around, there's plenty of spots there that can accommodate bigger setups. And then if you were wanting to go to this Benezette Store Campground, you're basically looking at kind of a big field, but you're not going to be there to hang out. You're going to be looking at the attraction. So just want to drive that home. We had a great weekend. We did a lot of running around, put a lot of miles on. Kids were good for the most part, but checked some items off the bucket list by seeing our first elks, big bull elk, and that Kinzua Bridge.
That Kinzua Bridge is awesome. If you're in the area, I recommend going to see that. Very cool. A lot of history on it.
So thank you guys for watching. We're going to get back to the campground, get packed up, and get home. We got a couple hour trip. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video.